Gardner, Gidley, Flannery in the centres, alongside Melly, with Price and Long at half-back. The forwards, Kalis, Cunningham and Graham, Gilmore, Wilkin and Roby. And on the bench, Fozzard, who makes a return after 5 months out, Hargreaves, Clough and Eastman. And the coach is Daniel Anderson. Now the Warrington Wolves, Hicks at full-back, Riley, Gleeson, King and Penny, Breers and Monaghan. The forward pack, Morley the skipper, Clark and Rauhihi, Mitchell, Westwood and Grix. And on the bench for Warrington, Parker, Braycheck, Cooper and Matty Blythe. The coach, James Lowe's. And the Warrington crowd is here in great numbers as well. And there is one young lady who should have been here today with those fans, but sadly she passed away on Thursday night, Friday morning at the tragically young age of 15. Fliss Farrell, a massive Warrington fan. We send her condolences to her brother Seb and all the family. As Warrington get the kick-off, or get possession from the kick-off. Great play from the start of this match by the Warrington Wolves.
Well, these are two of the most entertaining rugby league teams in this country, and that one-sided record fails to tell you just how thrilling the clash has been between these two sides in recent history.
He gets to his feet, plays the ball to Clark. Here is Morley, who drives it in, and he is just 3 metres short of the line, the Warrington skipper. Massive match against the Rhinos last week. Clark to Monaghan, puts the ball on the deck, it comes back, and it's a knock-on. It came off the legs of St Helens. It's a little knock-on in these greasy conditions by Michael Monaghan.
Well, any coach who's ever been here and gone away as a winner will tell you that you have to attack St Helens. You can't adopt a conservative approach and hope that you're just going to sneak the win at the end of the game.
They go the short side, then Gilmore brings it back in field. He finds Sean Long, Long finds Wellens. There's movement and fluidity behind the ball all over the place when St Helens are in possession. And Warrington deal with that particular threat in the shape of the tackle from Breers and Clark. But here comes Graham. Hit the ball from pace, the pass was from Leon Price. It's Cunningham, Cunningham going on his own! And Cunningham, I don't know whether he's got the ball down, but the referee, Richard Silverwood, will hand it upstairs to video referee Phil Bentham to have a look. The body language from Cunningham not convincing.
Well, everybody who plays against St Helens know that Kieran Cunningham is going to attempt this at some point in the game. Stopping him is far harder than knowing what he's about to try. You need enough bodies in there. Now then, that angle indicates it's a try. I thought the previous one looked as though the ball had bounced and come free, maybe with the arm involved. But on that angle there, that's a great shot to show. Probably confirmation that Kieran Cunningham has the first try in this game.
Well, Kieran Cunningham is making his 300th Super League weekly round appearance tonight. And he has got the first try against the Warrington Wolves. Kieran Cunningham, 7th try of the season, second only to Keith Senior in terms of appearances in the weekly rounds of the Engage Super League. A massive presence. Talked to his coach Daniel Anderson this week, and he said he's the best decision maker in the world as far as rugby league is concerned. Kieran Cunningham.
Well, you have to try to prevent St Helens from getting into this position, because at this point in the field they are almost impossible to stop. Cunningham has one option of going himself or several in support. On this occasion he virtually carries 3 players over the line. Great body positioning, and look, rugby league's a legs game. You need strong legs if you want to be as good as Kieran Cunningham.
Great strength from Cunningham. He's done that year on year, and Long from bang in front does not miss those. And so St Helens have a 6-point lead. It's Gilmore, and he gets the ball away to Roby. Back it goes to Gidley. Gidley finds Gardner. Well, Tony Ray picked it out. They actually shifted Lee Mitchell away as that movement began, because the youngster was absolutely out on his feet. But it is another try for Aidy Gardner. Try in each of his last 12 against Warrington now. The 16th try he scored in that sequence in all. And Aidy Gardner Well, he's the leading try scorer in Super League. That now is try number 24 in Super League for 2008.
Well, he was at the start of possession, wasn't he? Carrying the ball from the kick return, and then managed to get himself back into position on the wing to take advantage of St Helens being able to keep the ball alive in the tackle and just before it. Great finish there by St Helens, and a classy try. Not a lot of space, good defence from Warrington. Although they can't contain the ball and prevent it from being passed, Gardner does very well there to just step inside his man. Second score.
And in fact, Phil, they were very close to replacing Lee Mitchell just seconds before that try was scored. They've got Matthew Blythe out on the sidelines to get him out there in place of Mitchell. They couldn't get him out there in time.
Yes, Lee Mitchell, who scored a fantastic try last week against Leeds, deserved his chance from the start. Long has missed the conversion. It's 10-0 to St Helens. And Breers, it's a good pass to Westwood, but wonderful defence again from St Helens. The ball has come free and it went backwards, says the referee. Well, that ball certainly came free, and how it's ended up in the arms of Martin Gleeson, we'll have to have another look in a moment, but this is Parker, not the best. Finds its way to Monaghan, though, a bit scrappily. Here is King. Long has missed him, and King gets over for Warrington. Matt King. Great try from King, but how did Warrington hang on to that ball after it was knocked back over on the far side? Matt King won't be worried about that. 7 tries in his last 9 matches now for Matt King. He's started to settle in, hasn't he? 10 for the season. And Matt King, the Australian international, New South Wales State of Origin star, who's finding his feet in Super League over the past couple of months. And he has put Warrington on the board, and that's exactly what they needed. And that's the good news that Tony Ray was looking for Warrington.
Well, every player knows you have to play the whistle. The referee just had to make a guess here, perhaps assisted by the touch judge on the far side of the field. The ball came free, and it came back fortuitously here down to the Warrington side. Comes out of the tackle. You make your own decision on that. The bounce of the ball has gone for Warrington here, but this is fantastic skill, and it's a demonstration of the reason why Matt King was attracted here to the Warrington club. He wanted possession, he needs it out wide. Great fend on Sean Long, carried 3 players over, and a fantastic comeback here. Been starved of possession, and with probably the first opportunity here to put some pressure on the line, Monaghan gives the ball to King, and King shows why he's played 10 times for his country.
Yes, great try from Matt King. And so Chris Hicks has the opportunity now to add the extras. Difficult angle, great kick though from Chris Hicks. Fantastic kick from Hicks, who didn't really have his kicking boots with him last week. And that's 200 points in his debut year for Chris Hicks in Super League in 2008. Here is Monaghan again, and Monaghan gives it to Martin Gleeson. More and more involved, Gleeson, in the last 5 minutes or so. Rauhihi is back out there as well, as Clark goes to dummy half. That's great defence, though. Fantastic defence from James Graham. Clark received that ball at dummy half, and Graham was on him in an instant. It's Monaghan sliding the kick in, looking for Hicks, and Gardner will just slide the ball over the dead ball line. St Helens will have to drop the ball out.
Well, it's probably the first time in this game we've seen St Helens have to defend and scramble here. Gardner desperately has to get that left hand to the ball, otherwise Penny's in their way. But look, they just don't give you any time to work or think.
Was he square, Phil?
Well, whether he was or wasn't, Clark didn't get the ball away quickly enough. Can't quite tell from that angle.
Well, this is the vulnerability now. We spoke about St Helens having so much pressure on Warrington's line just maybe 10 minutes ago, and now it's Warrington's turn. There's repeat set is where other sides become very vulnerable defensively, and St Helens are no different to anybody else. You can wear them down as long as you build pressure. If Warrington are patient here, they can not only build pressure, they can come up with some points.
Here is Matt King. He's gone inside long again. He's brought down, though, by Gidley. He'll play the ball to Clark, and Clark looks and finds Blythe. Blythe finds Monaghan. Good hands here from Warrington. Great hands from Warrington. Wonderful pass. Wonderful try from Chris Riley. Fantastic handling skills from the Warrington Wolves, and Chris Riley over in the corner for them. A flick and go from Chris Hicks over over there to feed Chris Riley. And the Warrington winger goes over for try number 9 of 2008, and Warrington are level.
Well, I've often said that Warrington are the most entertaining team in this league, and I think this try is possible confirmation. When these sides met earlier in the year, Kevin Penny scored a contender for try of the season. This now will rank on my shortlist with that one. That's fantastic hands in these conditions, and the speed of that pass, well, that's just instinctive reaction from both of the players. It's a great take under pressure. Leon Price coming across at 100 miles an hour here to try and deny Chris Riley a try in the corner, but it's superb play that. You could watch that all day. He has to skip and beat Price, and does so. He's delighted and I think relieved here, because that is just flicked on by Hicks, taken as a half volley almost, and he outpaces Price to the corner. This could possibly put the Wolves ahead.
And no wonder the coach applauds that. Fantastic work from, well, about 6 of the Warrington Wolves then to produce the opportunity for Chris Riley, and he took it gleefully. 9th start in a row for Riley on the wing, and that's 9 tries now in his last 9 matches, but he hasn't scored in the last 3 until that moment. Chris Riley, and another Chris Hicks, lines up this latest conversion attempt. The first one was close to the touchline on this side of the field. Now it's a big test for a right-footed kicker from that side. Can Chris Hicks give Warrington the lead here, just up to half-time? No, he can't. Just drifts it the wrong side of the post, but 10 apiece at Knowsley Road. Coming down the short side with Eastmond. Nearly through Griggs again, but good tackle from Simon Griggs. Here's Cunningham, now Long. Puts it to the air. They're all after this. Oh, don't let it bounce anyone, and they don't. But, oh, good stuff. Good stuff from Warrington. They keep the man in possession of the ball. Kevin Penny on the right side of the whitewash.
Well, again, it was like a rolling ball. They pushed him forward, and King again now strong carrying. You need every single player. It's going to be the 13 men on the field, and whatever Warrington have got on that subs bench here, because they've, as you see, so much of the game has been on the left half of this field in the second half.
An hour gone here at Knowsley Road. We've seen some pulsating matches this year. This is up with the best, and that's Gleeson, and a good ball away, and Griggs steps out of the challenge of Murray. He's got Riley on his inside, and Riley's got a clear run to the line. Riley will go over to Warrington. Fantastic try. Fantastic Riley try. His second of the match. And a wonderful pass on the inside from Simon Griggs that opened up the St Helens defence. He stepped out of the challenges, and Riley, he's only 20 years of age, but he had the presence of mind to go on the angled run, and he had the speed then to get over in these conditions, and he scores next to the posts, and Warrington hit the front.
Well, if a heavyweight boxer has to survive on the ropes, a rugby league team needs to survive on the try line, and Warrington have done that. Penny stayed in the field of play, and the confidence and enterprise of the Warrington Wolves showed that they were prepared to strike from deep. Good ball movement out to the right-hand side, and Chris Riley scores what again is a long-range try against one of the toughest teams in this competition to break down. Look, James Graham's tracking back, but nobody can keep pace with Chris Riley, who changes the point of attack by coming back in field and making the conversion attempt far easier here now for his Warrington teammates. What a good 4 points that is for Chris Riley.
What a good 4 points for those Warrington fans. And it might be 6, it should be, with Hicks in front of the sticks. And Warrington have a 6-point advantage here. Here is Roby, now it's Long. And Long through the gap! Couldn't get the ball away, a fantastic tackle from Westwood. A magnificent try-saving tackle from Ben Westwood.
Well, the Saints legends are trying everything they possibly can here to find the magic that's made them the premier team in Super League for the last decade. They've had that get out of jail card photocopied and reprinted on many occasions, and they've used it successfully, but I don't know if they can quite find it here. Still a long time. Saints are capable of scoring 3 tries in 8 minutes. We've seen that many times before, but maybe not here tonight. Warrington's effort, and you see some frustration now starting to show on the faces of the home supporters.
You just don't see it, Phil, do you? I don't see St Helens scoring a try. I see them creating chances, but I just don't see them finishing things off, and that's been a big problem from tonight. That's partly been down to a lack of patience, perhaps the way St Helens often play when they're allowed to play a little freer, but it's also enormous credit to the Warrington defence. The Warrington defence has been absolutely first class.
They're inching towards those posts. Here is Michael Monaghan. Play on, says the referee. Monaghan allowed to get up and carry on. This is Matt King. King has backed himself. Ooh, and Gardner comes to the rescue.
Well, Gardner had to do well. He had to get the possession first there, and then again try and stay in the field of play. But Saints are capable of playing at a faster speed than their opponents. It's why they're at the top of this competition. Now then, can they do it to get out of trouble? That's a strong run by Matt Gidley. Some of the class that they have out there, going wide through Price.
Here's Wilkin. This is Eastman. Riley stood the ground. Play the ball to Wilkin. Westwood again, hunting and hounding. Could have been a flop there by Morley. Last tackle here. Eastman. Eastman! Kyle Eastman! Oh, straight to Riley! Riley's lost it!
There was a forward pass. The Warrington fans can't believe the luck here. Forward pass from Eastman to Melly. Riley got in the way and then of course lost the ball. That's why the referee's explaining it's the first mistake here, and that's the forward pass that he's going to penalise. Warrington will get possession again. Great play by Kyle Eastman. Gets on the outside of his man Griggs, but he can't get the pass back. Riley makes it difficult. And although he loses possession, his team should get the ball back here from the scrum.
Yeah, first defence. And first defence was the forward pass.
Okay, first tackle, right guys? Go.
Well, the sign there says we're heading towards a draw, because St Helens look like they're going to get down this left side. That's twice now they've had very close opportunities, and Sean Long, we know what he's like. He's thinking that, he's enjoying that, he's probing in that, he's working over that middle, and then they're going to come back and get this side of the field.
I'll tell you what, if it's a draw tonight, Warrington will commit Harry-Carry. They really will. Their supporters will be, well, they'll be opening a vein tonight. The way they've played. Here goes Monaghan! Monaghan just slows it up. Hacks it forward. Well, that was Gardner who picked it up there, and then Monaghan misses the tackle. Briers doesn't.
That's not a bad result for Warrington. They've got downfield. Some of the Saints players still getting back. Can they cover in defence though? Helens.
And it's Eastman. And Eastman hacks it over the top of Hicks. Hicks does brilliantly well. Hicks does really well to defuse that situation. Eastman is hurt. Here is Riley. Warrington in no real hurry here.
Well, Eastman knows again. Another chance gone. Still over 5 minutes to go. You can't believe how many opportunities St Helens have had to find this try shot.
Oh, he's lost it. He has lost the ball there. Lee Mitchell and St Helens fly into the scrum to form it, so as the referee will have to stop the clock.
Well, this is the pressure that Lee Mitchell's learning about here now at the highest level.
Well,
this
he
is a
scored a
white-hot
magnificent
intensity.
try last week, didn't he? And there's the other side of the coin for Lee Mitchell. 6 points in it. We've got just over 5 to go.
The referees had to stop the clock. Warrington didn't have a player stood as the scrum half here. You need to have 6 forwards and then a back stood close to the scrum. Gleason's just taken that role. Play on, says the referee.
Well, how important is the next 5 minutes for the Leeds Rhinos as well? And you know, people will be saying now, what's Paul Cullen thinking at this moment in time with 5 to go, and the team he assembled for 2008, 6 points to the good against St Helens, the team that has been such a dagger in his heart over the years. I'll tell you what, Paul Cullen will be on the edge of his seat in Warrington tonight. He will be roaring Warrington home. Can they get themselves into a winning position here? This is Gilmore. Gilmore straightens it up, and the defence stands firm again. That's 4 tackles gone. There's 2 to go, this set of 6. Cunningham is scheming at dummy half. Goes to Graham. Graham! Again, there are 3 there to halt him. That's the last tackle. Briers calling for reinforcements out wide. It's Gilmore! Is it a try? Is it a
to go. Gilmore's done remarkably well to take the pass from Cunningham, to take the tackle, but contain possession and then bounce over legally. The tackle isn't completed. He's allowed to do that and score the 4 points that gets St Helens back just so close here now with the kick to come.
Gilmore and all the ground waits for the decision, and Gilmore gets the try, and now it's the Warrington supporters' turn to bite their nails. What a game! In the most atrocious conditions, just take your hats off to the players of both sides. This has been a contest worthy of Old Trafford. Long as the extras, they're level. Gentlemen, pick a winner.
Well, I think Lee Breers, I wonder whether they'll go. Here's a try from Lee Gilmore. It's just poor collision. Lee Gilmore does extremely well. You can see that tackle's not complete. He's unable to go forward. I was wondering if they do a short kick-off. They've decided to get the ball down the other end and try to force an error from St Helens. I thought maybe they might have gone with a short kick how they started the game to get the ball back, because it's a one-point game now, isn't it?
I said Paul Cullen will be on his feet in Warrington. Steve will be watching in London. He'll be screaming for a one-pointer. Cunningham!
You know, Saints have gone the length of the field 11 times this year from kickoffs and scored in that set of possession. They are good at it. Warrington again here now. They have to be strong around that ruck area. Mitchell does well to hold Price.
4 tackles gone. They're over halfway now with Graham. That's the last. Warrington desperate not to give away a penalty. Here is Long. He dabs it down the line. Oh, and he finds touch. St Helens will hunt the mistake from the Warrington defence. 2.5 to go. 16 points each.
They're playing for a draw, St Helens. They're happy with the draw.
I'm not so sure. They're the ones making this. They're the ones making the scrum.
No one's there, Eddie. They're wrestling
no.
with themselves, you know.
The front row got their first look round. There was nothing behind them.
If you think about a table, a point's okay for them. It keeps them atop.
I think they're ingrained to go for the win at all times. They're going to fire up here now, try and contain or force a mistake here from Gleeson. Look at that, Cunningham. He's in your face. He wants the ball to spurt free.
There have been 2 draws between these two sides in a run of 32 matches in Super League, and Warrington have won just the 1. Is this another draw? They are looking to produce the first draw at Nosey Road since 1954 in this fixture. Last tackle here. St Helens will have one more chance. Breers, drop goal attempt from Breers. Oh, just wide.
What an effort.
Just wide.
What an effort now, with players sprinting at him quickly. He's hit it, okay, he's pulled it to the left-hand side. But he knows here now it's about containing Saints as much as possible, because Long will have a go at the end of this set, don't doubt it.
Well, they will if they get close enough. This is Wellens. Last minute, 16 all. A thriller. An absolute thriller at Nosey Road. Do we have another turn of the page? Price on halfway. Cunningham. Graham drives it forward. Warrington desperate to stop him. That's 3 gone. They're getting closer. They are getting closer by the minute. Here comes Price. Now then, Long is back there on the 40-metre mark. It's back with Long. Is he going to break the Warrington hearts? He is! Sean Long does it again! Oh, they cannot believe it at Warrington. Sean Long with the drop goal. That will win the match for St Helens against the Warrington Wolves again. James Rose must feel like Paul Cullen has felt year on year, that someone has come on and mugged him.
The kick was phenomenal. The set from the Saints players was outstanding. That played the ball from Price, gave Long the time to kick this one. He has hit it sweet under so much pressure.
It's going to be a short kick-off here. Can Warrington respond? No, they can't. There's the full-time siren. Sean